campus of Rogers State University, celebrating 100 years of excellence in higher education. This is Real College Radio, true alternative music, 91.3 FM.
And now, broadcasting from the top of the skyscraper that is the Markham Hall on the Rogers State University campus in Claremore, it's Green Country's most exciting radio show, Free Association. And now, here is the Fort Smith Fireball, your champion of chicken, and your deluxe dueling DJ, Mark Lay.
Thank you, KO, for that wonderful introduction. Welcome to Free Association, folks. I'll be coming at you until 7 o'clock on this rather stormy Wednesday evening. And, yeah, it looks like Mother Nature's about to have a Joan Crawford moment out there. No wire hangers! So, okay. Let's see, what do we got going on in true alternative music? That's what we do. We got the Yeah, Yeah, Yeahs. We have the Pomegranates. We have Fires of Rome, or we'll have whatever you want to have at 918-343-7913. That's the request line. I'll be bringing you Mark Lane versus headlines, and we'll talk about this dumb NFL article. But for right now, here's Break, Break, Breaks with Worry About It Later on 91.3 FM. You're listening to Free Association on 91.3 Real College Radio. That's Eldar with South Bikesel. And I don't know how much more, I don't know if I can continue to stay in the media. I'm serious. When I look at what goes on in the media, it's not, oh, they're biased or they're this. It's as far as intelligence goes, the intelligence quotient, that I'm a little concerned with. What do I mean by that? Well, this was sent to me by a listener. I think one of the listeners in my focus group sent me this letter. She put an ad in the paper, and it reads as follows. This is what she submitted to the paper. 3 little kittens have white little mittens. Their little white chests are matching little vests, tamed by one little grandson. And then lists a phone number. This is how the paper ran it. And don't worry, it's not, this listener isn't from around here, so we don't have to worry about the Claremore Progress or the Tulsa World. This is how it ended up. 3 little kittens, white little mittens, little white chest or matching little vest, tamed by grandson. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. This is Fire of Rome with Dawn Lament. If you have a request, make one at 918-343-7913. Speaking of requests, coming up after this, Radiohead with Jigsaw falling into place. All right here on Free Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner weighing 120 pounds soaking wet, your Fort Smith Fireball, your champion of chicken, your deluxe dueling DJ. He's cocked, locked, and ready to rock, Doc. It's Mark Lane.
All right, it's good to be back in the ring after being out so long. Where does this Mark Lane versus take us? It takes us back to Tuesday morning. So it's my day off. That means I get to sleep in till noon. Well, I was interrupted in my noontime napping. I hear this buzz in the window, one of the windows in my bedroom, and I think, is that my fan that's on? What is that? So I get up because I have to take care of this buzz. It could be an electrical thing. Who knows what it could be? So I look in the window, the source from whence this buzzing is emanating, and I see a bumblebee. A bumblebee got in my house, and now it's trapped in between the blinds and the window. But it's in the house. It could get out, fly around, dive bomb, sting me 20 times, hurt like the Dickens. So I'm still groggy, you know. I go in the bathroom. I remember seeing in some comic book where they sprayed a bee with with hairspray, and then its wings stuck together, and then they were able to kill it. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I did. And so I sprayed in between the blinds. It's still flying around and everything in the blinds. Finally, I wake up, and instead of using the top part of the hairspray can to spray it, I used the bottom part to smash it. And then that took care of the bee. I couldn't get to sleep after that, so my Tuesday morning at 10:48 was ruined.
This concludes another installment of Mark Lane Versus. Tune in next week for more exciting action, adventure, and romance.
The views and opinions expressed by Mark Lane do not necessarily reflect the opinions held by this station. Mark Lane does not actually support these physical violence as means for problem solving. No animals were actually harmed during the making of this broadcast.
Alright, but as far as the true alternative music goes, we had the Briggs before that with Charge Into the Sun, and before that we had White Lies with Death, and before that we had Phoenix with 1901. If there is a song you would like to hear, dial us up at 918-343-7913, because after the break we have a request, Massive Attack with Teardrop, right here on Free Association.
Hey, what's up? It's Radio Steve from the South.
That was Peter Bjorn and John right here on Free Association with Mark Lane. And now we'll go ahead and get to this Top 10 NFL Fan Bases article that I was talking about at the beginning of the show. And if you want to follow along, go to my website, myspace.com/freeassociationRSU. You go to the top right, and there it says Philadelphia Eagles, foxsports.com photo gallery. In my blogs, you view more. It takes you to the link. You can read it for yourself, but I'll just touch upon it a little bit. They list the top 10, and at 10 they have the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know who wrote this. I wish I knew, but I don't know who wrote this. They says, this fan base, which was really a bunch of bandwagon jumpers during the Aikman, Irvin, Emmett dynasty, transformed into diehards. Simple folks flocked to the star and seemed to be enamored with it. But the rules about cheering for your team that you have no connection with is still a violation. Alright, fine, if that's the criteria for how they're going to judge things. Then at number 9, they got the Chicago Bears. He makes a good point, the writer of this article, that this is the only place where you could see people get so excited over a team that hasn't had an offensive threat fielded for the last 20 years. Number 8's the Buffalo Bills. I don't know why, but okay. Then 7, the Denver Broncos. And then this is where the guy starts to play a double standard. He says, I've attended Broncos away games that are 1/3 filled by Denver fans. Well, if you go to a Cowboys game, primarily any game that's played in Arizona when they're playing the Cardinals, look at how many blue and white jerseys you see compared to the Phoenix Cardinals jerseys. And at number 6, they have the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are a very annoying bunch. Oh, right on, right on. Then this writer at number 5 has the Green Bay Packers, and he says, but before Lord Favre, did you ever hear about him? Yeah, Bart Starr, Nitschke, Lombardi. They had bandwagon jumpers in the late 60s, 70s. What are you talking about? Then at number 4, the Cleveland Browns. I don't know why they're there, but okay, that's what we're dealing with. Then we have the Oakland Raiders, and he says they're dressed more for a Star Trek convention than a football game. Then we get a little insight into this anonymous writer. He says that he can respect them as an Eagles fan. So that's what we know already about this writer, is he's an Eagles fan. Then at number 2, he has the Kansas City Chiefs, and he says that while they may be the 6th smallest market, they've had the 2nd highest attendance average over the last decade. And he mentions that their last Super Bowl that they won was in the same year as Woodstock. Now, that's a long time ago. Then at number 1, he puts the Eagles there. Some might call this biased. Mark Lane calls it biased. There we go. But the most passionate fans in all of sports are without question Philadelphia Eagles fans. What cemented Philadelphia fans' reputation as the most amoral, loathsome collection of fans in sports is famously the booing of Santa Claus, and also the cheering of when Michael Irvin was paralyzed on the turf for about 10 minutes. That'll do it to you too. Throwing batteries inside of snowballs, that'll also do it. The Eagles haven't hoisted a championship flag in 48 years, but the waiting list for season tickets is so long that you could sell out 3 stadiums full of Eagles fans for games, which also speaks of their intelligence quotient. Maybe if they demanded more from their team, then they'd get more from their team. What a joke. Why do I bring dumb articles like this on my show? Ugh, I should stick to requests. Here's Wolfmother with Pleased to Meet You. And the request line is open at 918-343-7913.